Okay then, Raiders, we are back. We've got loads to go over today, as it appears that a brand new skin has been showcased out for the new trials. We managed to miss an upload yesterday, so there was a patch update that we're going to quickly go over. It seems like there's been a lot of controversy going on online at the moment with the new Marathon game coming out with its server slam, and there seems to be some crossover points with Arc Raiders. So we've got a little bit to talk about that. We're going to bring everything in terms of that to your faces today. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we've got new bundles dropping all the time, so make sure you check those out via the link in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. And we're also doing a giveaway on the channel for a copy of the game, or if you've already got it, then free Raider tokens instead. Very nice. If you want to get hold of it, it's very simple. Head down to the comments and put in any coloured love heart you like, and it'll enter you in. I'll see you announcing that one in the next few days. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Arc Raiders. So starting off real quick, we had a hotfix go out yesterday. This was announced in by Ocean, which was revolved mainly around performance issues and stuff like that, but it read the following right here. We're rolling out a hotfix right now to address some of the issues, restart your client to download, different instances of client and server crashes, several performance issues, and certain instances where crouch was skipping the recovery time after a dodge roll, which will also affect Il Toro. And finally, the one that they pretty much did it for was the patchwork customization items displaying before they even should. It may take some time for it to take effect. Note that the image on the patchwork outfit for the second expedition also is incorrectly displayed on the bandolier, which they will be brought back for the third expedition. Now, the interesting factor about that was that people were actually running around with the brand new expedition notice. This was a very, very weird one, as people were just not able to understand why they were receiving the brand new expedition skin way before they actually needed it. I mean, even right now, if we take a look at the expedition and how long it's actually going to take to process through, we have still got another 3 days remaining before that actually operates. So they fixed all of that, and hopefully that shouldn't be an issue inside of the game anymore. And at the point of recording, we literally just received a brand new message from Embarkosen saying that they're aware of server issues affecting many of the players at the moment. Their team is working to restore the stability as quickly as possible. They appreciate your patience. So if your game is down for you right now, or the servers are causing a little bit of a blippy moment, don't worry, it will not last. What I will say though is there has been a lot of talk about the new Trials season coming in, which is going to be the third season for the Trials inside of Arc Raiders. And what we can officially say is that the new skin that's going to be launched with it is this one right here, and this is called Torque. This for me is probably one of my favorite skins inside of the game by far. It looks absolutely incredible, having a motorcycle helmet on top, and then the rest of the armor set just look really, really cool with the knee pads and the arm braces and stuff like that. The three coloration ways of the black and orange, the white and red, and then the black and yellow all work perfectly, and for me, as far as I'm concerned, this now gives me a reason to play for Trials. If you guys have seen what the Trials armor was for the previous season, my good lord, it was horrendous. Now, I hope that a dev isn't trolling us with this one, as we already know that there has been some controversy around the Trials pre-leaks in the past. So fingers crossed this is a real one, and this is what we'll be receiving throughout Season 3. Now, I have seen a lot of videos going over the new Trials for Season 3 and what it is that they're all going to look like. Although, if last season was anything to go by, I did a video where we went over all of the Trials actual tasks that you were going to have to do week by week by week, and then they just didn't match up. Why is that? Well, there was no toxic swamp. All of the weird things that were in there and the bits that really made any sense, they were irrelevant when it actually came to those weeks. So I'm not going to waste your time. The only thing I will say is that inside of those Trials listings, there are some really weird ones, such as get hit by lightning. That for me is absolutely wild. I don't even know if I've ever been hit by lightning inside of this game, mainly because I don't think I allow myself to. So I'm going to have to subconsciously do that if this genuinely is part of a Trials. I think that they must be just trolling. There's no way this is real. They know that we're going to get into the game systems. They know that we're going to be able to fast forward time to see what the Trials are. So I think at this point, they're just duping us for that narrative. Let me know what you guys are thinking via the comment section below. Moving on from that, we can't ignore the fact that Marathon's server slam has now officially gone live. There was a weird controversy just yesterday, as it appears that yet another game is going to be censoring the words Arc Raiders. Now, before I dive into this and show you the screenshot, they have actually since then removed it, and there is now no censoring of Arc Raiders inside of the game. You can just type it up and do as you please. It is just hilarious to me that this is even something that we're having to do. Call of Duty did it, the exact same thing. Battlefield did the exact same thing. And then when Marathon launches, they're for some reason censoring it as well. I think if anything, all you're doing is giving yourself more of a spotlight by doing that sort of thing. So I'm glad that they've removed the censor on it, because the game itself does seem to be okay for the most part. The controversy of this is that there are a split community here. We can see that everybody was hoping that this was going to be good. The Rooster over on Twitter really did it best for me, and it just said that they were downloading the game, and it just said, please be good. Now, the funny part of it is it has actually affected Arc Raiders numbers, and a lot of people were arguing the basis that it just wouldn't do that, as we can see that Arc Raiders is in its lowest player count since launch, with it being at around 183,000 total players sat in the servers over the last 24 hours. And matching that up with Marathon, it's not far behind, with around 143,000 being the 24-hour peak. Obviously, right now, it is the morning here in the UK, meaning that nobody in America is really online. They're all asleep. But the numbers in comparable are actually really, really similar. This, I'm sure, is quite worrying for Arc Raiders. I don't think it's going to affect it too much. From what I'm grasping, Marathon is going to be a bit of a competitive shooter version, almost like Apex is to Fortnite, if that makes sense. Fortnite's more for the casuals, Apex is more for the hard nuts that want to just go in and kill people. Like, I feel like that's going to be how exactly this plays out. But I've not played Marathon yet. I am going to be diving into Marathon over this weekend, and we've got a really big video that we're going to be launching for you guys as we give you guys all of my insights and thoughts on the game and what it is that I think it all played out like. So make sure you stay tuned for that one, and you're going to get my complete, honest opinion. Moving in from that, though, we've obviously got to go over your top comments from the previous video where we spoke about the Il Toro balance update. I know it's not gone through yet, but they have been talking about it, and Osin has pretty much clarified that it is definitely going to be happening. A little bit worrying for the people who enjoy the Il Toro, but for those of you guys who know how the PvP aspect is working right now, it really makes a lot of sense that they do it. That weapon is so overpowered that it's all anybody is using at the moment. Don't you just love how meta works in PvP? Nonetheless, let's take a look at what you guys had to say. If you want to feature in the top comments for the next video, then make sure you hit the comment section of this one and put something relevant. The top voted will make its way in. This first one right here states, increase the stack size of Arc parts. Now, I actually agree with this one massively, especially considering that they're changing the way that you craft all of these items, and the way that it actually operates is that you have to now utilize things such as Rocketeer drivers and so on and so forth to be able to actually issue all of this stuff. Now, I do think that it's extremely important to increase the stash space. When you increase the crafting space, I think that that's the biggest problem. They're now requiring us for bigger parts to actually utilize. So to carry bigger parts, you need more stash because we have a less amount in terms of countable. That's the bit that's really frustrating. So I do think that the stash needs to change, or the Arc parts need to adjust. Let me know what you think in the comments. This next one right here, coming from Chris, states, losing a friend is just so difficult. Sorry for your loss. My best friend died a few years back, and I still think about him every day. That's exactly what happened yesterday. I unfortunately was at a funeral for my best friend. Met him through gaming, and I've known him for the last decade. So if any of you guys have ever experienced anything like that, a massive thank you to those of you guys who did reach out and send me a message. Those of you guys who obviously are just hearing this for the first time, don't worry, I'm absolutely fine. I'm obviously not streaming today for obvious reasons, but we will be back to our normal schedule as of tomorrow, where we'll start getting the content and all of that stuff back and revigorated as to where it was. But thank you so much for reaching out and for all of the love that you guys have given me. I really, really do appreciate it. This next one right here, coming from Blazed and Proud, states, I feel like if they upped the cost with explosive compound and added 2 or 3 sensors or processes to the recipe instead of Rocketeer drivers, it would have been more fair and similar to the other nades and such. Now, I do agree with this in a certain degree. The problem is when you start increasing the amount that you need, so you need extra sensors and you need extra processes, again, it's going to mess around with the stash space because you obviously have numerous things that you need to collect and keep hold of. I know that right now most people weren't keeping Rocketeer drivers, and that's added to the course, and it's really, really a nightmare because you need a wolf pack to take out a Rocketeer to get the wolf pack, and it makes no sense to me at all. There is obviously ways around it, but I'm hoping that they address it over the next week or two. We'll wait and see what it is that Embark come up with, but I think that there's something that they can't ignore. Nonetheless, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thank you very much for all of your support and your love over the last 24 hours. And as always, I'll see you in the clouds.